Welcome to the League of Legends Katarina Mid Lane Champion Guide for Pure and Esports as of patch 4.10. This is my favourite champion and I'm here to share my guide with you. Let's take a look at her abilities. Katarina's passive is called Veracity. Whenever Katarina gets a kill or assist, her cooldowns and her abilities are reduced by 15 seconds. This is insanely good in teamfights if Katarina can get a reset, as it allows her to jump from target to target, dealing a ton of damage with the rest of her abilities. Katarina's Q is Bouncing Blades. This is a targeted projectile which throws a blade to a target and then bounces to 4 subsequent targets, dealing 10% less damage to each enemy hit. Bouncing Blades also adds a mark which can be procced by either an auto attack or her Sinister Steel ability to deal bonus magic damage. This ability is particularly used for farming from a range and also to harass your opponent. Katarina's W is called Sinister Steel. This is an ability which does area of effect damage, where Katarina whirls around dealing magic damage to enemies around her. If the spell damages an enemy champion though, Katarina gets bonus movement speed for a second. This ability can also be used to farm after using Bouncing Blades to proc and deal bonus damage. Due to its short cooldown, it can be spammed quite a lot in lane. Katarina's E is called Shumpo. This ability is a targeted spell which can be used on any target, whether it be ally or foe. The ability allows Katarina to teleport to the target, and if it's an enemy, it deals magic damage. This ability can also be used on Thresher's Lantern, Jarvan the Fourth's Demacian Standard, and even on enemy wards to reveal them for a slightly longer duration. This ability can also help you close the gap between you and an enemy, or help you escape by jumping to an allied minion, champion, or ward. Katarina's ultimate is called Death Lotus. Katarina spins around in a mad frenzy, throwing out daggers around her. These daggers hit the nearest 3 enemy champions around her, dealing magic damage. This is a channeled ability and can be interrupted by crowd control such as Annie's stun or Syndra's knockback. This ability deals a significant amount of damage if the whole cast time deals damage to an enemy. If we take a look at the possible item paths for Katarina at the start, depending on the matchup, I like to go at least 3 possible start routes. If I feel the enemy does a lot of melee damage, I will get a Doran Shield and a health potion. However, if the enemy has a lot of skill shots which must be dodged, I take Blitz Speed and 4 health potions. And finally, if I feel that I'll definitely win the lane, I take Amplifying Tome with a health potion. From there, my core items that I nearly always build are Deathfire Grasp, Sorcerer's Shoes, Rabbiton's Death Cap, and Void Staff. These are the 4 core items to pretty much maximise Katarina's damage. By activating your Deathfire Grasp on a target, you boost the amount of magic damage you deal to that target over a few seconds, allowing you to utterly obliterate your target who you've used your Deathfire Grasp on. Added with the Void Staff magic penetration means that you deal an absolute heat load of damage. Now if I feel that I need defensive items, I will take Zhonya's Hourglass or Banshee's Veil. If I am up against an AD mid or high burst damage champion, I like to rush Zhonya's Hourglass to give me some form of defense against them. Then around mid to late game, if I feel that the magic damage on the other enemy team is too frightening, I take Banshee's Veil. And then finally for my last item, I get Guardian Angel, because by the time I revive myself from Guardian Angel, nearly all my abilities are off cooldown, giving me a second chance to burst them down for my Veracity reset. If I feel like I have an easy time in my lane, I like to rush Boots Mobility, which allows me to roam easily once I push my lane to give the other lane support. However, if I feel that their team has too much crowd control that I would get destroyed if I get into a fight, I like to take Mercury Treads for the tenacity. Additionally, if their team has easy escapes, I like to take Rylai's Crystal Scepter for the added spell slow and health boost. Abyssal Scepter is also there for if I feel they are building too much magic resistance against me. Finally, for items, I cannot stress enough about how all Katarinas must buy several wards every time you go back to base. This is so important to escape from ganks, being caught out or chasing an enemy just out of Shumpo range. For summoner spells, I always take Flash for the easy getaway, as I cannot always rely on Shumpo. I always take Ignite for laning, as it gives me kill potential against my opponent. However, if I focus more on roaming, I can recommend taking Ghost, because along with your runes you'll be able to chase down anybody. I also take Heal if I feel that my lane opponent heavily counters me and can kill me faster than I can kill her, or him. I have seen a lot of Katarina players take Teleport for the easy roaming to get kills, but I feel that the other summoner spells are a lot more beneficial for the team as a whole, because Katarina cannot split push at all. The typical runes I take for Katarina are Magic Penetration Marks, Health per Level Seals, Magic Resist Glyphs, and Movement Speed Quintessences. This is because the majority of Katarina's damage is magic damage, so Magic Penetration is a must for Katarina. However, a substitute for that could be Hybrid Penetration Marks, because Katarina deals both magic and physical damage with some of her spells. If I am facing against an AD mid, I like to replace health per level seals with armor seals just to give myself that added bit of defense. I take the movement speed quintessences because Katarina is a very mobile champion, and having the movement speed quintessences allows me to have bonus movement speed to roam and dodge skill shots. The masteries I usually run are 21-9-0, as seen on the screen, focusing mainly in the offense tree for magic damage. I never usually take anything different unless I'm playing Katarina jungle, which isn't recommended in this patch. In regards to matchups, Katarina does very well against champions with mainly skill shots such as Lux, because they are easy to dodge, and if dodged, they cannot deal any damage. Other champions with not much mobility such as Karthus are also good matchups, as Karthus cannot do anything to you except let you kill him and hopefully to kill you back with Defile, Lay Waste and Requiem. But because of Katarina being the ninja she is, she can Shampoo out, negating a lot of damage from those abilities. Another good matchup for Katarina is against Akali, because even though Akali has a Twilight Shroud, Katarina's Death Lotus deals damage to stealth champions in the area. I would max W in these scenarios. Particularly bad matchups for Katarina are champions with crowd control, which can basically negate your ultimate, such as Fiddlesticks and Talon, as well as particularly tanky mid laners such as Diana, who has that annoying shield and knockup to reduce the damage taken. Against bad matchups like those, I tend to max Q instead of W, because I would normally be pushed back and harassing from a distance. Champions such as Yasuo, Brand and LeBlanc are even matchups with Katarina. With the Yasuo knockup easy to dodge, it should be easy for you to kill him, and even if he windwalled you, you'd be right on top of his face and his windwall would appear behind you, allowing you to do your full damage to him. Against Brand, it's more of a skill matchup, because you must be able to dodge all his skill shots so you're not stunned. Now with LeBlanc, now that Sigil of Silence got nerfed to Sigil of Malice in this patch, Katarina has nothing to fear from her anymore, making it easy. A typical item and some of the spell counters to Katarina are Zhonya's Hourglass and Exhaust. Now a lot of you are thinking, why are we building Zhonya's against Katarina, who deals mostly magic damage? Well, Zhonya's allows you to block all of her burst damage. Now because she can build things like Void Staff, Deathfire Grasp, it's easy for her to get through that magic resistance that you probably have built. That's why by negating all of her damage as a whole, it allows her to not get her Veracity reset and not deal as much damage as she normally would. And Exhaust reduces Katarina's damage as an assassin, and because she needs to reset, that can be extremely difficult for her in teamfights. For playing Katarina throughout the game, in the early game I like to harass and poke with bouncing blades, which helps with farming as well due to the bounces. If I feel particularly ballsy and feel like I can win a trade, I will follow up with a shampoo onto the enemy target, and then Sinister Steel to use the movement speed to get out. Additionally, if the enemy jungler comes to gank, I like to use my Trinket Ward to escape using shampoo if there are no minions to shampoo to. In the mid game, I would have acquired my Sorcerer's Shoes and also hopefully my Deathfire Grasp, which allows me to help roam bot. Normally I like to roam bot because by the time I get my ultimate, the bot lane wards have expired, making it easy to gank. In the late game, I sit back from teamfights and wait for the most easy to hit crowd control to be used, which will stop my Death Lotus such as Leona's Solar Flare or Nami's Tidal Wave. Then I jump in on the lowest health champion and deal my full combo to get the reset. The combo that I usually use is Deathfire Grasp, Bouncing Blades, Shampoo, Sinister Steel and then Death Lotus. This normally allows me to take out an enemy and I can use then my reset abilities to pick up more kills until my Death Lotus resets completely, allowing me to deal another full burst of damage. This is the League of Legends Katarina mid lane guide. Please leave feedback on what you thought as well as any tips for what I might have missed. You can also vote for the next champion by clicking the link in the description, which will take you to a straw poll where you can vote. Thanks for watching.